Hey, Jesse.
Hello, Lindsay.
What you drinking today?
It's a neutral lime from that Aldi's that you got.
Yeah.
It's
okay,
good.
so I tried the Aldi seltzers this week instead of getting my normal White Claws because I did all my shopping at Aldi this week. And so I usually do both. I usually do like half and half. I get half of our shit from Walmart and half of our shit from Aldi, but I really didn't need anything
This
from
one has
Walmart.
a little something from Canada in there too. A little bit of crown apple.
Okay.
Ooh, crown apple.
And I had tried the Aldi.
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 Small things.
So I had tried the Aldi seltzers over the holidays, and I liked them.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to be at Aldi anyway, spending the money. So
I mean, you can go the other way on that too. Aldi. Small things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. She
So
left me roses by the stairs. Sorry.
Surprised as I been as she can.
Say it ain't so.
I will not go. Okay, so have a double pineapple Vista Bay seltzer in my cup with some ice.
Nice.
Keep it nice and cold.
That's a nice big old bucket. You got there. You got a big old bucket, lady. Big old bucket of seltzers. Yeah, so I like my fermented with my distilled a lot.
What made you feel old this week?
Me? Old this week. You know what? I've actually been pretty sharp this week. Like I really have. But just constant aches sometimes, you know? It's like just being old, I guess. His body,
for me,
like,
it was...
When I was talking about like how I can't squat all the way down.
I still can.
Yeah.
And I learned the Drake dance.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I learned the Kendrick Lamar dance.
So your brain's old, but you know.
Oh, my God. Erase that. And no spam. You cannot call me. Spam risk is trying to call me.
they want to get on the pod. They want to get on the pod. Can I tell you something? No, my knees are fucking
My knees.
Remember we were at that Ginger show and I was yelling that out for Sumo Psycho? And she was like, I want everybody to get down, you know, and do like the whole jump up thing like Slipknot does. So I'm like, dude, like I'll kind of...
That was a good show.
Hunk over a little bit at the Crowbar in Orlando, right?
We got the first leg of Ginger's North American tour in a very small...
Very small. Like the size of our house. Our living room.
Oh, God, yeah.
Twice the size of our
And what was
living
the capacity, 200?
It was packed.
Yep.
Packed full.
We got to go to that show for $17.
But Sumo Psycho was fire, dude. They were...
And the Browning was great.
Well, of course. The Browning's fire.
Yes.
But like...
It was like a techno metal.
So Sumo's all like... She's all like, I want everybody to get down. Y'all come on.
Sky.
Yeah. And I'm all like, okay.
Sky is her
So...
name.
And I'm all... I yelled and the place was quiet as soon as I yelled it out. I thought nobody would hear me. And she's like, are you okay? On the stage. It was so tight.
Yeah.
And I was like... I'm embarrassed now.
But we were in sweat range from all the artists.
It felt like the 90s again. I honestly, I'd felt like I was back at the Milk Bar or something in Jacksonville.
See, I never got to do any of that shit in the 90s.
I never get to do the Milk Bar. Let us know. Hey, if anybody that's listening has done the Milk Bar, I want to hear some more Milk Bar stories.
Oh, you said we've got some Jacksonville listeners.
I thought they were bringing the Milk Bar back. Tell me about that if it's true. Let me know if the Milk Bar's coming back.
Let us know if that's fake or not.
Yeah, fuck. But yeah, it felt like I had stepped back into the late 90s for me. I was like, this place is phenomenal, super packed. And
I would have loved to experience that life in the 90s. The bands are all becoming famous.
And Ginger now
wasn't in the cards for me.
Yeah, Sumo Psycho, the Browning are big. Ginger's untouchably big.
Oh, God,
They're huge now.
So we've seen them at, what was that place called?
Crowbar.
Soundbar.
Oh, Soundbar.
Soundbar.
What was Crowbar? Why am I
have
thinking
no idea.
Crowbar?
Crowbar is a band.
Crowbar is a place in Tampa.
No, I'm thinking of Crowbot.
Is it Soundbar, right?
Soundbar?
Soundbar
is in
Orlando.
Orlando.
I was wrong.
And then we've also seen them 3 times at House of Blues.
Yeah. Did we see them in Louisville? No.
But we're going to see them at Rockville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to split that fucking crowd.
Yes. She better do a wall of death.
Yeah, she's going to split that crowd.
Vortex or something.
She's going to split that crowd.
So my thing that made me feel old is I've had stomach issues all week. I've lived off of...
God, we both did.
I've lived off of yogurt and protein shakes, and we decided to go out and have a Valentine's meal last night, and we were miserable the entire evening.
I'll edit
Listen to our recap to get the full story.
I'll edit out the last night. Yeah, that was tough.
I felt like Daniel Radcliffe in the night sweats last night. Literally.
We did not sleep.
Son of a bitch. My drink. I've been up all night.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yes. Love you.
Yeah.
Love you, Daniel. Yes.
Yeah.
It is Daniel Radcliffe, right?
I don't know.
Fuck.
It's not Ronnie Radcliffe.
No.
Radke, whatever.
Hold on. Daniel Radcliffe and the Night Sweats. Nathaniel.
Oh,
Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter.
Oh. I'm leaving all that.
Nathaniel Radcliffe and the Night Sweats.
Nathaniel Radcliffe.
Let me make sure I'm right about Daniel Radcliffe too. Daniel Radcliffe. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So you got that. Okay.
Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. Nathaniel Radcliffe and the Night Sweats.
Even when I do Harry
Sweats.
Potter, what I look like Harry Potter.
That was me last night. I was hanging out with
Potter. Do I look funny? Is it
yes.
Potter?
Yeah. Harry Potter. This is how you look. Harry Potter.
So I can't say.
You just flare out the nostrils.
I can't say schnozberries, and I can't say Harry Potter.
Flare out the nostrils. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. See, I don't move my eyes.
Look at you.
I just do the bottom half of my
You
my
really
face.
do look.
Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, you're.
Did I slip into Snape right there?
You went Slytherin style.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a Gryffindor, but I hang out over it with Slytherin a lot.
Do.
Yeah.
You hobnob over there on that side of the fence.
Silas loves Slytherin so much when we would go to Universal. He's like, I'm Slytherin. To
everybody. Look at me. Look at me.
He does. He has the hat, the scarf, the socks, everything.
He looks Slytherin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. I'm just walking around with my mouth like,
yeah,
looking at everything, mouth open, just like head on a swivel, like just checking everything out. I want to touch this. I want to look at
that was the most disappointing thing to me. I really thought, and I don't know why. This is just something that I thought in my head that they would have a sorting hat thing where you could get sorted. That would be awesome.
Don't they?
No, we asked about it, Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
Because we wanted to do that for Landon before we got him his wand.
Right.
And we asked about it, and they're like, no, we really don't do that. You kind of just identify.
I identify as...
So Landon and I chose Gryffindor, and Silas and Jesse were definitely Slytherin.
Yeah, I guess
Isn't that what you chose?
No, I'm Gryffindor, too.
You are?
Dork.
Okay. But you bought yourself a Slytherin lanyard thing.
Because I wanted something different. And I knew that he would take it anyhow, so yeah.
All right, let's get this thing started.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and fire this. Happy Friday. And it's going to be a good weekend.
Even though we had stomach issues from Red Lobster. That's okay.
We have Pepto. We have Pepto. We have Pepto. We have Pepto.
So, Jesse, you haven't asked me what we're drinking about in the last few episodes.
I did not. I don't think I did. No, I did not. And, well, I mean, I knew, but I will ask you if you want me to. I will ask you. All right. That was okay. What are we drinking about?
We're drinking about Danny Rolling, aka the Gainesville Ripper.
See, I haven't locked in the name of him.
The inspiration behind the Scream franchise.
And we love that. Before you get off into that, you want to talk about a really cool gathering of ghost faces?
Oh yeah,
that we went to.
Was it the Spookala in Ocala or the Spookala in Tampa?
That was the Spookala in Ocala before they moved to Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they did both.
At the Equestrian Center in Ocala, Florida.
Okay, so yeah, we went there.
It was the largest.
We got to see old Ski Ulrich and Matthew Lillard and Jamie Kennedy And what's the other one's name? Not Dewey Cox, but his real name, David Arquette.
David Arquette gave me a fist bump.
And and Jamie Kennedy did too.
Yep.
But they're very personable with their audience. That was cool. And they had like a Ghostface, a record-breaking Ghostface
It was
attendance.
over 250,
Yes.
I think. It was like the stage. I was like, this stage is going to break.
Yeah, because they gathered everybody.
People there.
Said, Ghostface, assemble.
Yeah, they even did some of the goofy Ghostface from the parody too. That was funny too, like the stoned Ghostface.
Yeah.
they didn't care. They were
From
like, get
a
up
Scary
here.
Movie.
Yeah, it's like it wouldn't have happened without.
There's going to be another one of them coming out.
Oh yeah, need to. It's time to catch up because there's so much good new horror content out there. Yeah, put it back together.
Yeah, there's going to be another Scream too. What is that? Where are we on 7?
Scream 19. So what did the cop that was there? He said Scream 37. He wakes up from the woods and he comes back and he's in the movie.
He's a zombie because he was already old.
Yeah, he was cool though.
Yes,
and we got
he
to
was.
see the original Ghostface guy. The original, he's like, I'm Ghostface. Like he was like a biker dude. He's really cool, big biker dude.
Yeah, Spookala is fun. We have a blast
Yeah, if
there.
you're in Florida and you love horror and true crime, because they're all there. It's
Yep.
all there. I want to go and pass out some cards and be like, check us out too. Like,
Yes.
hello. Maybe my buddy will set up a booth.
And
while
we
I'm out
have our favorite little candle corner that we
there.
go to. We
always get the candles.
Yes, because they have it's around October, so it's right about the time where everything in my house turns into pumpkin. And they have a hollow, I think it's called Hollow Man scent and a Wicked Pumpkin scent wax melt that are just fabulous. And then they have a candle called Wake the Dead. And that's Jesse's favorite,
Yes,
hazelnut.
It is so good. And if you want to meet celebrities and movie stars and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. The
they're
cons
there.
are where it's at.
They're
Well,
there,
the
dude.
smaller ones.
We walked right up and was talking to Jack Osborne.
yes.
I was like, what the hell? And I'm talking
We
about
talked to
music.
Richard Brake, who was the Night King.
The Night King. What was he called in 31? Doomhead. Yeah, with the stilettos. Ugh. Yeah, people in hell want popcorn or some shit he says in the movie.
We watched
God,
another
so
one of
good.
his movies last week, but we fell asleep. We were exhausted.
Yeah, but he's
we
phenomenal.
It was our nap time.
He's phenomenal. The movie itself, like he was.
And we had a 30-minute drunk-ass conversation.
They were
with
sitting
him.
around a campfire, and like he was
Yeah.
like the guy that got everybody together. And
So it was like mini stories.
yeah, and they were throwing the little totems in the fire, but he was on fire. Everybody else was like,
And Seth Green was there.
Yeah, we've seen
At that
so
first one.
many.
The
We've
last
met a lot of
one,
people.
Walter Goggins was there, and we fucking love Walter Goggins. He is Uncle Baby Billy
Uncle Baby Billy.
in Righteous Gemstones, and what's his character name in that?
Oh, Vice Principals.
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one. He's the goon. He's the goon in
What's the name of that
Fallout.
show? Fallout.
Yeah,
Fallout.
yeah.
Yes.
And I can't wait for
That
that,
was a
to
good
come
show.
back out. Yeah, really cool actor. Seen his cack too much though. Uncle Baby Billy's wiener's out again.
But Vice Principal is great too. We'll have to catch up on that
Yeah,
one
Vice
later.
Principal. You were sleeping, and I found it from a buddy of mine at work.
Mm-hmm.
So woke now.
Woke right up. I mean, and it's got Danny McBride.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
fuck.
perfect. It's
Yes.
perfect. Watch Vice Principal.
Bill Murray opens
Bill
that
Murray
bitch
opens
up.
it up, and
Yeah.
he's out. He's deuces at the flag. He's like, I pledge, and y'all get. I'm gone. I'm back on Groundhog Day time.
All right. So, what do you think the ingredients for this serial killer salad is?
He has a salad that's predominantly.
That's what we're going to start calling it.
Oh, the serial killer salad.
Yes. What do you think the ingredients are? What do you think led this man to do the horrific things that he would go on to do?
Honestly, I
do you
have
think
no
got
clue.
started?
You're catching me too new. I mean, I'm not.
You have it. Okay. Well, you learned a little bit from Eileen.
Okay. Well. Okay. So
So just take a guess, and then we'll
parent
revisit
trauma, sexual assault, abuse, things happen as childhood.
it. Well, you'll be correct. So let's get it started.
Okay, then. So I'm nailing it. I'm learning.
So I'm going to do a blanket trigger warning over the next 2 episodes, which will include domestic violence, child abuse, animal abuse, rape, mutilation, and murder.
You got to get better at that. You got to say it like side effects, like for a drug medicine.
Oh, so you want me to do it real fast? I can't talk that fast.
.org.
Especially when I've had a few in me. So let's get into the background.
So yeah, you know me. I'm like all ADD on the commercials and everything, and then all of a sudden at the very end of them. They're like,
while this lady is like twirling around,
yeah,
dancing.
And I'm like, dude, you're gonna have like anal leakage and fucking bladder bleed
or planting some flowers,
aneurysms and your skin like falling off, and and it's all like.
I love how they start out with, if you have moderate to severe, whatever
it is.
Psoriasis is the ones we see the most.
Crohn's disease, yeah. Plaque psoriasis, but it's like the side effects are way worse. Come on, dude, we can't figure out medicine better than this.
Of our blanket trigger warning are even worse, and I can't talk that fast.
But like by now, with like, because you can literally design medicine now by AI, and it's like if you put the positive, it's a healing. The negative, it'll kill you. Like you can have AI actually do it. How to stop
a serial killer? Yes.
Yeah, but go ahead and fire this thing off.
That's all lies within the nurture versus nature?
Yeah, I guess.
Or no,
all right.
That's not what I'm thinking of. So if you don't nurture your child and you're always beating them down, it's not a good thing.
No,
you gotta balance it out. You gotta give them.
You gotta give them a contrast of human.
Hurt them.
Yeah,
you gotta.
That's what we've been talking about with ours too.
Yeah, you gotta love them, but also give them limits.
Yeah, and when you like, and
it's hard.
If you're even
fucking sucks
working with Silas and you're having problems and issues, I always try to come up with some kind of solution. You're like, oh my god, I can't today. I cannot.
I'm gonna say parenting sucks. Parenting is hard. Just.
But thinking outside of the box and trying to bring something in that's positive in a positive way, like just saying the no. Hey, it might not be positive to him at the moment, but he needs to learn the no. So that's good.
All right, so Danny Rolling was born on May 26th, 1954 in Shreveport, Louisiana, to James Rolling and Claudia Beatrice. James and Claudia married young, and when Claudia became pregnant with Danny, James was pissed because it happened within months, and he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
So new. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, she's pregnant. They're young.
Which is weird because I thought that was like the whole point back then. I guess it just, when we hear of Pasto stories, you think that was just like the purpose of everybody's life. They were supposed to get married, do the deed, have the baby, raise a family. But it wasn't in James' plans. So he got a job that he hated on an oil rig to support the family. And this caused him to hate his child before he was even born. James also severely abused Claudia while she was pregnant, choking her, threw her down a flight of stairs as a tactic to try to abort.
Really?
And and before Danny was even born, he received his first head injury.
I mean, that's two ass human beings, too.
Yes.
It's like, don't lay your hands on women, period. Because it doesn't take much.
I'm going to deep dive a little bit more in before the second episode, but I think that James also had a horrible childhood that he grew up with, and then
more
put
trauma
all that rage
onto
his family. I
got you.
Yeah.
But still, there is no I got you like understanding. I got you. None when it comes to laying your hands on women.
No,
just don't do it.
It doesn't make any sense.
I myself am not. I'm a big advocate for not hitting or laying your hands on women. Never.
So, like I was saying, Danny received his first head injury from the doctor who clamped down a little too hard on his skull during the delivery.
Wow.
Yeah, because, I've only had C-sections, which is easier on the skull of the child.
So around what year was this?
1954.
54. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to pull this youngin' right on out.
Right on out.
Probably should have been a C-section.
What do they call them? Forceps?
Forceps, yeah.
So they squeeze a little too hard.
Dude. Women got it hard sometimes.
Yeah. So James hated Danny from the moment that he was born. Even when Danny was learning to crawl, it was kind of like a scoot, and that enraged James. And he shoved Danny so hard down a hallway that he bounced off a wall. There's head injury number 2 already.
Wow.
And who knows what was in between. There's a head injury after head injury. You'll see.
So he's just a few months old, and he just...
Yeah. Well, he's
What?
learning, so that's almost a year. Yeah, well, no, a few months.
A few months is
God,
crawl time.
all my kids were crawling by 5 months. So,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. That's crawl time is just 3 to 5 months. 6 months, our youngin's up and running.
Now, Claudia, she got pregnant again with Danny's little brother, Kevin. Kevin would later on say that he didn't receive as much of his father's abuse as Danny, but there are several years of his life that he can't account for, meaning he has most likely blocked them out from severe trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Here he goes.
Yeah.
Here he goes.
Now, no matter what abuse Danny...
I'm sipping. Go ahead, Lance.
No matter what abuse Danny endured at the hand of his father, he still desperately sought out his approval, all while developing hatred towards his mother for not protecting him. James would beat them if they held their fork wrong.
What?
Hell, even breathing wrong. Yes, like he was...
Complete control and just selfish.
He was a horrible man. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I had such a wonderful dad. Now, my dad would get mad at me. My dad would whip my butt and ground me, but he was a merciful, kind father all at the same time. So I can't imagine this.
Yeah.
Like I used to think the butt whoopings that I got were just horrific, but when you compare it to what other kids go through.
Right. Well, I'm harsh a little bit at times myself, but I'm not physical. Like it's more like trying to get something to build off from all the time. That's always been my tactic, even with your kids that we raised together. Like there was always some kind of tactic, whether it be right or wrong. I have been wrong.
Like we said, parenting is hard.
It's hard.
Nobody
is perfect. No, I don't care who you are. You're not perfect in parenting. No, but I always had some kind of tactic in there to try to teach them in some kind of way, something. Maybe they were, it's hard to find out what's in somebody else's mind to teach you, So.
Right. So James would beat them until they would urinate on themselves.
God.
Make them hold their breath until they turned blue. And he even beat Danny's puppy so severely that the puppy died in Danny's arms.
Everything.
How many times have we heard this so far?
Everything.
In a killer story. That's 3 now.
Yeah.
We had Tiffany Cole. We had...
That's like a couple of dogs already, too.
Well, it was a cat. It was a cat for Eileen.
And the dog.
It was a dog for Tiffany Cole.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like the worst physical punishment that I've ever gave these 4 boys were push-ups.
Yeah.
That was it. I got them.
Yep.
Got you.
Push-ups.
You do the push-ups. Now I'd stand over top of them and be like, you're going to do those push-ups,
Yeah, there was one time when my oldest, I caught my oldest bullying my middle or my third. I can't remember. It was one of the two. And I made him do the push-ups, jumping jacks, sit-ups.
Yeah, just wear their asses out. But the push-ups, though, like if their arms are sore,
and he
for the
was
next
already a
3
teenager
days,
by that point. Yeah, so
and then now he can do like 100 of them. But it's good, hey, you're teaching a little physical fitness
and some
at
extra
the same
chores.
time. Extra chores for sure, always.
So he would even tie them up with ropes as punishment. Like bind their hands behind their back and shit.
Never did that. Had to wear a shirt one time that was big enough for me and my sister because we were fighting.
James had been I think it was a Korean War veteran. I didn't write it in my notes, but I remember that. He was a veteran from Korean War. And he would go on to be a police officer, which made it hard for any member of his family to report abuse to anyone. His fellow police officers would call him a great guy. James is great. And guess what his nickname was?
Oh.
Baby Dumpling.
Oh.
The fuck?
That's what they call me in high school.
That is just wild to me how a person can have this whole different persona. And you'll see that a lot in cases we'll do later on. But they'll have this whole different persona in public.
Baby Dumpling.
Because, opposed to...
What a shitter. What an old shitty ass fucking dude.
Opposed to what they are behind closed doors. And that is why...
I'm sipping on Baby Dumpling. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
You don't really ever know a person.
Yeah, they called me Baby Dumpling in high school. That was my high school nickname.
So Danny in his childhood would also dent his forehead on some concrete when he was around 5.
Wow.
He was molested by a cousin when he was 9.
Fuck. I'm getting a shot, dude. I'm going to go make a shot.
I told you we were going to need shots for this one, but I said part 2. But
this is already
part 1 is pretty rough too.
This is fucking horrible.
So he even prevented his mom from slitting her wrist when he was 11.
He prevented his own
He
mom
prevented his
when
own
he
mother.
was 11.
Now, when Claudia got to the hospital for this, she said James made her do it.
Little
her
dumpling,
husband,
little dumpling,
baby dumpling,
baby dumpling did that.
Yes.
Come on, fuck you, baby dumpling.
Claudia would make several attempts to leave, but James would always find a way to get her to come back.
She should have dumped his dumpling ass.
I know. It was. Remember that conversation. Always remember that in the back of your head. Remember that conversation we had with that older woman at the campsite and how hard it was for her in those days. This is the same time frame.
The same time frame. It was what it was. And she had no power.
She went to, a judge literally told her, well, that's your husband. He can do whatever he wants to do. And that was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Danny started 7th grade, his father shaved his head, which earned him the nickname Sasquatch, which makes no sense. You asshole children.
How do you get Sasquatch from a shaved head?
Sasquatch is a tall, hairy person.
Well, it's still the 50s, right? Or the 60s by now.
This is okay. So he was born in 54. So this is the 60s. Yeah.
So now the shaved
about mid 60s, mid to late.
They should have been squatching by then, dude. I mean, they didn't have the beef jerky yet, but still.
So by the time Danny was a teenager, he started drinking and getting in trouble for petty theft.
If anything, they should have called me Sasquatch because I had dreadlocks when I was in high school.
And you're a hairy person. Well, you were a lot less.
What do they call me?
Sideshow
Bob. They call me
Sideshow Bob. That makes sense.
When I first got them, they were like tight and they came up and out.
So one of my oldest coworker friends, her son has now started working with us at the restaurant, and he's got Sideshow Bob hair, like legit.
Yeah.
Like it's like twisted and yeah.
He's Caucasian or no?
He is biracial.
Okay.
So he's got that perfect mix of both of our culture's hair to where it's nice. I like it. It's very cool.
Right, right. I love just different cultures and how it all mixes together.
Oh, he's a beautiful kid. Yeah.
I understand that everybody is going to have different traits and different things.
He's got dark skin with blue eyes. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Beautiful
to me.
youngin'.
That's cool to me. Yeah. I like the mixes. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not if food's not good if you don't put some seasoning up in there.
Right. So, like I said, by the time Danny was a teenager, he started drinking and getting in trouble for petty theft, but also learned to play guitar and wanted to become a singer and songwriter.
Hey. So he's trying to overcome and be in his own little pocket. Mm-hmm. He could still be, with all the trauma that he went through and all the bullshit, he could still be a successful human-ass being at this moment.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But the songs that he would learn to play were gospel hymns, like Near My God to Thee. That one doesn't come to my head right away. And I know a lot of old gospel hymns. Jesse and I were both raised with that. So.
I'm sure if we heard it, we would know it. Yeah.
So at 15, he got a job at Dairy Queen trying to straighten himself up. But then he got into a fight with his horrible father, which caused him to attempt suicide by razor blade out in the woods.
Still looking for that acceptance from his fucking dumpling ass.
But when he got hungry, he went back home. Mm. James' abuse escalated to him, and he would start waving a loaded gun around his family. Yeah. Keeping them in a constant state of fear. So Danny's mental state also started escalating into violent sexual fantasies, and he became a peeping Tom.
Really? Mm-hmm. On his own cheering? Or just on other people?
We're on Danny now.
Oh, on Danny.
We're on Danny. Yes.
Yeah.
James got more violent. Danny got more
intrigued sexually and being a creep.
He got more sadistic. Yeah. So Danny, at 17, did join the Air Force, but that was short-lived. He was dishonorably discharged after disobeying orders, and he had drugs in his bunk and crashed a bike into the back of a military truck and spent 30 days in military jail. This was right after boot camp. So his time, like I said, was very brief. And this was around 1973. So this was
another failed
That's right
attempt.
after Vietnam War ended. He moved back in with his parents after this, and his father continued to keep telling him what an embarrassing, sorry, good-for-nothing piece of shit he was.
If he would have been successful, like a couple of different opportunities there in life already, and he just couldn't put it together because of how much shit that's been put on him as a child all the way up to that point. Honestly, that's what I'm feeling. So here we go down the slippery ass slope.
Right. Danny continued to abuse drugs. He drank heavily, but also turned to religion. He attended church regularly at King's Temple United Pentecostal, where he sang in the choir and played guitar. Here is where he met a woman named O'Mather Halco.
Oh.
It's quite a name, isn't it?
O'Mather. Mm-hmm. Marshall
and
O'Mather.
4 months later...
Sorry.
4 months later, they were married.
That's nice. Another positive track.
Positive thing, but Danny had a hard time keeping a job.
I'm waiting for you to drop bombs here in a minute. I gotta take
Okay,
this.
hold on. I'm gonna take a picture of you with this shot because you better have it in the shot glass that we got from Spookala. I'll put this in stories the day the episode airs. All right, hold on. Give me a second.
There it is. I had to bring it out. Yes, bitch.
Yes, bitch. Do you like it or I'll retake it?
No, it's fucking fine.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care what I look like. Okay. We look phenomenal, actually. You are always on fire, Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to let you ride. I'm going to take a... No, I'm not. I'm not even going to sippy poo on that yet.
No, wait for just a little bit. It gets worse.
It's a double shot.
Yes.
And y'all check out our Instagram and check out our stuff, and you'll get to see me holding that glass up and understand why I brought that out. Yay.
I know. I wish we had kept the little blinky thing that went in it that she had. Cannot find her. We have to find her at the next Spookala.
Yeah,
so
she paints shot glasses of all these murderers, serial killers.
Yep. We bought Sissy Shelley. We got her at H.H. Holmes one.
She loves H.H.
which we talk about in another episode.
The Murder
I can't
House.
remember which one. Yes.
We're gonna get.
Oh yeah, that one's gonna be. Whew, I gotta do a lot of research on that.
That's big stuff. But anyhow, go ahead and fire.
So Danny had a hard time keeping a job, and his sex life was not what he wanted it to be because his sexual preference was unspeakable to a Christian woman.
He wanted...
Hell, to any woman.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, he had done creep bag before that, so he was probably wanting, like, unwilling, like, he can creep up on, tie him up, and do the shit that his dad had done to him.
He wanted back and be sadistic shit.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to get O'Mather to do.
I can already picture all this. Why the fuck are you forming my brain into this, Lindsay?
And, I didn't write it in my notes, but they did conceive a child, and I think it was a little girl. But, and instead of doing the right thing and being a good provider, Danny started drinking heavily. So in 1979, O'Mather divorced him, and shortly after, Danny broke into a woman's house in the middle of the night and raped her.
So, like, this whole situation reminds me of Radio Flyer.
Why?
It's like dad's beating you.
I haven't watched Radio Flyer.
Probably playing the Hank Williams in the background.
Oh, God.
me and a buddy of mine, which he's actually the touring guitar player for Mudvayne, and we were talking about that, and I was like, the Hank Williams song. He's like, dude, I was just listening to Jambalaya just the other day.
That was the song. Stop it. I haven't watched Radio Flyer because you told me what happens, and it's hard for me to watch.
Well, I was sharing our
podcast,
like of course, with him too. I was like, dude, you're on the road all the time. This makes sense. Like, listen to us and check us out because it's got to be his bag. Fuck, he's in Mudvayne, and he's like, dude, that's awesome. And then he scrolled back up and seen where I'd put the Radio Flyer because he posts like nostalgic movies and things from our childhood, the things that are relevant to us. And I was just like, that fucking Hank Williams song on there haunts me, dude. And then he tagged me and posted it, and he's just like, went on to this big thread of just us just. And
I actually, when horrified. I will hear cases and there is a song that I love that's tied to murder or sexual assault.
Yeah.
That it will haunt me.
Let's watch Radio Flyer later.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We have to watch The Exorcist 3. I told you that. It's very
we'll
important
have time.
for part
we'll
2.
Do them both. I'm grilling. We're going to chill.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I said, after his divorce from O'Mather, and that it was like the day that he was served the papers, he broke into a woman's house that I don't know the name of. I couldn't find it in any research. And he did this in the middle of the night and raped this woman. Then he robbed a 7-Eleven, to which he received $11.
He only got. Thank you. Come again. That's fucking all he got. He handed it back.
He handed it back.
But how pathetic!
That's all they had, their cash register. That's all you can do. They don't, because like I worked in a convenience store.
I'm going to rob a 7-Eleven for $11.
I worked in a convenience store as a teenager, a late teenager, and you don't know the password to the safe. You know, you make deposits into the safe, but you don't know how to open it.
And if you do a drop,
only the
has to be
managers
approved.
do. And managers only work in the morning, and I work night shift.
And a lot of them are electronic. Like you do a drop, and you're only getting like $10 in quarters. Right. Or $20 in quarters. And
well, what it is if your drawer gets above a certain amount, you have to make a deposit. Yeah. Yeah. Or you get in trouble.
Yeah.
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 Because it keeps you safe and it keeps the store from being robbed.
I literally had to wait 30 minutes for a drop. When they hit the button, they're like, hang on, I got to get some change. And then they hit the button then. And I was like, it ain't coming out. No, it's timed. You can't get it right there.
Right.
So, yeah.
So then he robbed a liquor store and got about $200.
It's a little bit better now. You're getting better, dude.
So then he stole his dad's gun and went down to Montgomery, Alabama and robbed a Winn-Dixie.
Montgomery, we're going to the Winn-Dixie.
Then
fucking Winn-Dixie, Lindsay?
The Winn-Dixie. But then he robbed another Winn-Dixie in Columbia, Georgia, where he got around $2,000 from those combined.
Moving closer to Gainesville at this point.
Well, not yet. Oh, we still got a ways to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So for our listeners that do not know what a Winn-Dixie is, this is a corporate grocery store. This was all within the same month that he robbed both of those. So when he was caught, he did say, "It's me. I done it. And I'm real sorry." Just imagine that in Louisiana accent, because I can't do a Louisiana accent real good.
Yeah,
he's very Shreveport.
He got a little bit of that Cajun.
Yes, Cajun.
Yeah.
So he was sentenced to 6 years in prison for these crimes. And shortly after he was released to a work program, he ran off after he told a guard he had to go shit in the woods.
Y'all hang on a minute, I gotta go take a shit. Deuces. Literally.
He was caught and got another year tacked onto that sentence. Then he tried escaping again, but this time that guard, he knew Taekwondo and kicked Danny so hard in the groin that he earned himself a torn testicle.
Oh, yes. Jesus Christ. So like,
and that affected him forever.
He hit him with that, "Oh, you can."
How you can. Yeah. He was transferred to...
He's a horrible fucking criminal at this point already.
Yes.
I mean, sorry about your childhood, dude. You could have turned it around. You were around so many amazing things, and I guarantee there were people that were like, "This dude is fucked up. We're going to try to help him out."
So he was
Pentecostal. Don't go to Pentecostal. I'm sorry.
Oh God, don't.
Don't go that way. Don't go that way.
So he was transferred again to Alabama to another work program and tried to escape again and went to a tent revival before he was caught.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
He had to go get him some Jesus.
I'm not trying to hack Pentecostals, but it's too charismatic for somebody that's this fucked up emotionally. You know what I'm saying?
Religion didn't work for him, period.
We're not going to dance with snakes and hoot and holler. We're not going to do this.
Well, I grew up with Pentecostal, but they were past the snake days by my point.
Well,
but there's still a lot of hoop and hollering and speaking in tongues.
Not in northeastern Kentucky, where
yes.
It's different. You can listen to an old podcast that we did previously where I talked about a dude died in one of the churches. But anyhow, go ahead.
Okay, so he was actually, after this last time that he tried to escape, I think this was the third time, he was evaluated mentally, and this time he was found to have antisocial personality disorder, which makes a lot of sense going forward. And he had zero respect for his mother, and while loathing his father, he also idolized him, which is horrible.
Of course he idolized him. He couldn't get anything positive from this dude, you know, as being a human-ass being and trying to grow up, and you can't get anything positive out of somebody, you're going to keep striving for it. Mm-hmm. That's just human nature.
It's like when crackheads start that drug and they try to keep achieving that same high they get from the first time, and they'll never achieve that again. I guess that's just I've only heard this. Remember for the DARE program? It's like that. It's like you keep trying to achieve something that you're never going to get.
Yeah, I get your analogy there. Yes, for sure.
And it just brings you down.
And you got this emotional brick wall.
Literally kills. Yeah.
Old Dumplings over here. He's abusive. You're seeing it, left and right, all around, and you're never getting anything positive. But you're a human ass being. You're human.
But instead of being like, okay, my dad's a piece of shit. He's hurting my mom, and instead of being mad at her, he should have realized I don't know.
Oh, hands down. He was
hard
still supporting his dad, trying to
say.
get some kind of recognition,
Right.
positive. Never did get it, right? Or his dad would probably manipulate him.
Because
and
a
give him
lot
little
of
bit,
men that go through that, they will turn it around and be like, I will never treat a woman the way that my dad treated my mom. But then you have it the other way around.
Yeah.
That's just like, I've heard some stories about men that grew up with an alcoholic father where they would say, or one would not drink, or maybe just drink sociably because of what their dad did. And then one would become an alcoholic because of the way they were raised. So it's so strange how it can go either way.
It's tough, and especially if you have a war veteran at the same time.
Yeah.
So, Korean War was tough. Vietnam War was tough. And I understand all that. I have a lot of that too. So, I'm going to let you go.
When he was released in 1984, not having anywhere else to go, guess where he went back to?
Home.
Yeah.
Back to the biscuit.
And this time,
the dumplings. Sorry.
This time he took up jogging dressed as Rambo. So now your mental state has, and that's around the time where the Rambo movies were coming out, right? Yeah.
First Blood.
Yep. So he would also hang out with the neighborhood kids and teach them how to lift weights and sing some of the weird songs that he would write. The fucker became a role model. And that's just literally the epitome of the 80s.
But they were a little bit younger than him, right? He was hanging out.
They were children.
Yeah.
Like actual children.
So he was
he was a grown man.
I got something over you.
He was born in 54. So by 84, 64, 74, 84, he was 30 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are children.
Yeah.
And that's, because in the 80s, nobody questioned anybody. You were hanging out with weirdos.
Yeah, you had random uncles everywhere
Yes.
in the 80s. Yeah, this is Uncle fucking, just hang out with him. He's not going to... We didn't do any research on old Uncle fucking Codsack over here just fucking around with our kids and teaching them all kind of fucked up shit.
Just like, oh, that's just Danny. He's just the weirdo neighbor.
I have trauma.
God bless him.
Lindsay.
We're going to pray for him on Sunday.
I have personal trauma because of shit like that.
I know.
Yeah.
So he left Shreveport for a while as a hitchhiker, and he was picked up by a guy named Jake. And Jake gave him a gun and told him to hold on to it. So they got pulled over, and Jake had warrants. So Danny took off with his gun. It was time for more crime. He robbed a Kroger, which is also a corporate grocery store. He did this while wearing a mask.
If he knocks off a fucking Piggly Wiggly, I swear to God.
No, there's no Piggly Wigglies in this story.
Come
but
on,
there will be in
Lindsay.
futures. Yeah.
Lindsay, we wanted a Piggly Wiggly in this bitch.
And then he broke into a house and ate some of their fruit and yogurt. Just a little snacky snack. And he made sure he left the banana peel and the empty container of yogurt where it could be seen, which is terrifying because a home invasion, when they are comfortable enough to eat your food.
And bold, yeah.
And they don't know what the fuck they're walking into. You could be standing there wielding a fucking machete and chop this fucking man's head off and he don't give a shit.
And 90% of the time when you're away and you come back, like it's dark when you get back home.
But the 80s is terrifying. And this is one of the periods where they call that shit the good old days. And it may have been in your childhood,
was a good old days.
but I promise you, people like Danny Rollins was breaking into people's houses and eating their fruit and yogurt.
Yeah, in their banana kind.
And leaving it staged for you to see so that he knew, so that you knew somebody was in your fucking house and ate your shit.
This is bananas.
Yeah.
Bananas.
So he was caught for these crimes, and this time he asked his lawyer, instead of going back to jail, if he could just get his hands cut off.
Wow. He had no way out. He was just like, I know that I'm going to be a shitty ass human being and I'm going to do everything I can to be that person. Jesus.
Yes.
Wow.
So, of course, this didn't work.
What a mess.
So before he was sentenced, he shaved off all of his hair, including his eyebrows, thinking this would clean up his image. But the judge said, no, Daniel. No. We're not going to cut off your hands. We're going to give you 15 years. Sorry. So... But he was paroled after 3 years and went back to...
His dad is fucking...
Dumplings.
He went
biscuits. Back to baby dumplings.
Why am I back to biscuits on every time? Back to biscuits.
And he became Rambo once again.
Rambo Part 2.
So this time he went through a string of jobs like Circle K, Walmart, and The Sizzler. Do you remember The Sizzler?
Yeah.
Yeah. His longest job was working with his electrician friend, Bunny Mills, and this was a female. And they had a casual sexual relationship, like, it was like once a week. Here you go. But he was laid off from that job when work slowed down, and then went on to work at Pancho's Mexican Buffet, which sounds amazing now.
I want a Mexican buffet here in town. Where's Mexican buffet here? We got a real Mexican. Well, we got
we do.
We got El Patros.
We have El Patros, but you and I order from the menu because we love their menu items. We love their what's it fucking called? Chili rellena and the Mexican rice.
But when I'm thinking of Mexican
Texas
buffet,
rice.
like that one's just like a tooth. I want like a fucking 5-stand. I want like the full
like Chinese buffets where you get like 5
But what
rows.
they have on our Mexican buffet here in town is not like real. It's
Tex-Mex.
Yeah,
Tex-Mex.
it's American Mexican, and I don't want American.
But that's what our townspeople want.
Yeah,
that's why you and I order from the menu.
When I took my sister to Cozumel one time, I watched a woman with a monkey hanging on her shoulder make us some food one time, and I thought that.
You and I have had amazing food out of this country in Mexico.
Yeah, we did. We damn sure have, and it's way better too. I love diverse, culturalistic food.
Yeah, the last time we were in Cozumel, we got to eat tacos and taquitos by poolside.
Yeah,
shit was delicious.
That was
the sauces. I could just drink them. I don't know what was in them.
They were good.
Fuck,
that was a good time.
And then when we went to Cozumel the time before, when we went to Passion Island, we had a buffet,
and it was different food too. It wasn't like the regular. It
was authentic.
Yeah.
So he got fired not too long after being hired because of a scheduling misunderstanding. When he was scheduled to work, he didn't show up because he thought he was scheduled off on those days. Because back then, you didn't have an app where you could just look at your schedule. It was posted in the break room, Shit. At my job, we just went to an app 8 years ago. And this was in the 80s. So before that, it was posted in the break room.
Right.
We had a bulletin
I've never really
board.
understood why, if you have a really solid ass employee, just give them a set schedule, and you know that they're going to be there. It makes your scheduling
Look how long it took
way
me.
easier.
Look how long it took me to get a set schedule.
And I talked about it ever since we really probably the first year.
You started you and I started dating when I was 6 years in, and I'm now 19 years in, and I've only had a set schedule for 8. Mm-hmm. 8 out of 19 years. Yeah. Before that, it was chaos. Okay. So he didn't show up, and when he was let go, he made a real threatening scene. And after this, he really snapped. Like, he's already bad off, but now he's really mentally snapped.
Turned it up, yeah.
So now he started peeping again, but on entire families.
Oh.
And the Grissom family in Shreveport became his obsession.
So he was making plans.
Yes.
He was coming up with scenarios in his head, too.
Now, the Grissom family consisted of Tom, who was the father, his 24-year-old daughter, Julie, and his 8-year-old grandson, Sean, which I believe was Julie's son. So we got Tom, Julie, and Sean.
Okay.
So for weeks, he would hide out outside their house and watch them.
Plotting.
2 days after he was fired from the buffet, which he was already peeping before he got fired.
Oh.
But like I said, he was just peeping at that point. But when he got fired, he took his anger out on this family. You want to take your shot?
Spill it, Lindsay, and then I'll do my shoddy bushotty.
All right. So he went to the field behind the Grissom house, dressed in fatigues, and waited for his opportunity.
Fuck's sake.
This one hurts. Okay. Tom had been barbecuing and the back door was open. Danny hopped the fence and just came into the house. Just walked right in. And with him, he was wielding a military grade knife, a K-bar fighting knife.
The Rambo knife.
Yes.
That's the K-bar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been a very long time since I watched Rambo.
It's the Rambo knife.
And a .38 revolver.
What?
He ordered the family to lay on the floor and handcuffed Tom's hands behind his back and duct taped his mouth shut. He then tied Julie and Sean's hands behind their backs and taped their mouths shut and went back to Tom. He took Tom to the utility room and stabbed him from behind, then turned him around and stabbed him in the heart, killing him. He then returned to the living room and stabbed Sean. He was 8 years old. He stabbed Sean in the back and left him to bleed out. He then took Julie to the bathroom. He raped her, then took her to Tom's bedroom where he stabbed her 3 times in the back, killing her. He then washed her privates with vinegar to remove any of his DNA and left her spread out on the edge of the bed and fanned her hair out.
Goodness.
Yes. He used their washer and dryer to clean his clothes and removed all the duct tape from the now dead family. Because I guess duct tape holds DNA too. And DNA wasn't... I'm going to have to go through the timeline because I didn't think DNA was as advanced as it is now until...
I mean, it was coming out in the 80s. Yeah.
But I mean, look at what happened to West Memphis 3 boys in the 90s.
Lindsay.
I know. Okay.
Well, I'm taking a fucking shot.
Yeah.
I mean, well, cheers, everyone.
So, rest in peace, Grissom family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rambo Gotti. Goodness.
So they would not.
He knew he was going to fucking do it.
I know. Look, I'm holding back tears.
He wanted his way out. He knew that
according to my period app, I'm 5 days away and my fucking emotions are so
He knew
bad.
he had it in him. And he knew that he was going to do it. He couldn't get his way out.
No.
They should have locked his...
It just kept getting worse and worse.
Begging for it. Well, anyhow, shotty was shotty.
Yes. All right, I'll take a sip. I can't do shots anymore, y'all.
Love that crown apple. But damn. Lindsay.
So they would not place him at this murder for quite some time.
That was three
Tom,
people.
Julie, Sean.
Okay.
Yes. That's his first kills. Other than that, he's just been robbing.
Yeah,
robbing
creeping.
and stealing.
Robbing and creeping and...
Yeah, robbing and creeping for sure. So initially he got away with this murder. So he would start hanging out at the Superior Bar and Grill, saying he was going to make it big at being a singer and songwriter, even though the manager of this establishment wouldn't even let him perform. About a month later...
You're not that good, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're not that good.
Well, in episode 2, I'm going to try my hardest to I'm going to play some of his musical... His
jamming.
His jams,
Oh.
yes.
I'm excited.
No.
Well, I am. I am.
So about a month later, Danny got a job as a telemarketer, but they didn't like his Rambo appearance. And he would carry the same K-bar knife that he had used to murder the Grissom family to fucking clock in and get on the phone every day and sell people fucking Bell South shit. Remember?
Had it on his hip. He scrapped. What the fuck?
Bell South.
K-bar is
Bell
like
South
9
just came
inches
to my
long.
mind out of nowhere because Bell South was a thing.
It's 9 inches
long.
long.
I looked it up. I know.
With
I've
the
seen some
serrations
gruesome
on the
shit
back
that I didn't
side.
want to see.
Did it have the whole compass and everything?
That's the bad part about researching cases is sometimes you see images that you don't want to.
Yeah, you're way ahead of me whenever you speak on these.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know. You got all the visuals and you've seen them all.
Yeah,
laid
this one's made me
out.
nauseous. Part 2 will make you even...
When we get done with all this and then you start posting pictures and I'm like, all right, I'm done. So I can start looking too. Oh my God. And you got this in your brain right now, telling these stories right now.
I know.
Right now. And Lindsay.
So Danny made friends with a retired couple that he met at the Superior and did some electrical work for them. And they started hanging out regularly. They liked his music. And I don't know why, because I listened to some of it. And they... This is terrible. They hired him to sing at kids' birthday parties. Or it was just one in my notes. Yeah, they hired him to sing at a kid's birthday party. And it's not kids' music, man. It's weepy, bluegrassy shit. Yeah.
I can't imagine. I got to hear it.
I know.
I can't imagine it.
He kept his impulses at bay for a while.
I'm on the point right now. I'm fuck him on everything from here on.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Like I said, we sympathize with the child, but
now,
fuck you, grown ass man.
When I said that was his turning point,
yeah,
did not turn. I get that you're messed up. I get it, but you missed it, bro. Your bus is fucking left.
Yeah. Like I said, he was keeping his impulses at bay for a while, but then he got into a car accident where he received another head injury and almost died. He didn't wear his seatbelt and was driving in a freak storm. After he recovered, he began peeping, breaking and entering, and raping more and more. So before he makes his way down to Gainesville, he and his father got into a fight. First, his dad yelled at him to roll up his windows because it was raining outside, but Danny didn't see the need because he was under a carport. Danny put his foot up on the bench of the dining room table, which made me think of our dining room table because we have a bench. And that's where we record, by the way. It's our dining room table. So Danny put his foot up on the bench to tie his shoe, and this enraged James. And both of them pulled out their guns.
Ooh.
James said he was going to kill the whole goddamn family once and for all.
A showdown with dumplings.
But blocked himself in the kitchen.
A dumpling showdown.
Danny then kicked the door down. So I guess this was a kitchen that had a door, which was a thing in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you would have your kitchen separate from...
The Roseanne kitchen.
The Roseanne kitchen,
yeah.
Right. So he locked himself in the kitchen. Danny kicked down that door and shot his father in the stomach and right between his eyes. Kicked him over and over, saying, "Lord, forgive me."
Wow.
Then Danny ran off, but his dad survived.
What?
Because evil don't die, people.
Evil
it just don't fucking
You ain't killing no
die.
dumplings. You ain't... you.
I'm gonna go into a big old pot of chicken and dumplings after this.
When I get done here, boy, I'm gonna be just right as rain. You gonna come right on back to home like you always do, boy.
But Danny thought that he had killed him for sure.
Duh. Fuck's sake.
Before he drifted out of town, he would stop by the home of the couple that he had befriended at the Superior Bar and Grill, and their names were Stephen and Louisa Klaus. So he was dressed in his Rambo rig, carrying his K-bar knife and the gun. He just kind of busted right in and scaring the shit out of the couple because they were just sitting in bed watching TV. He points the gun at them and said, "I just killed my dad and I need some money to skip town." Now, I don't know how this happened, but they spent the next 2 hours trying to comfort him and calm him down. They did end up giving him $30 and some cookies and some fruit and sent him on his way. Danny said, "I'm so sorry for pulling the gun and getting mud on the carpet."
But I'm just here for the bananas.
And he drifted right out of there.
Wow.
So then he went on to rob a grocery store in Kansas. It didn't say the name of the grocery store. But he went on to rob a grocery store.
On the run. Sorry.
He went on to rob a grocery store in Kansas City and told the cashiers, "Thank you. God bless. Please pray for me. I need it."
Yeah, I'm going to Kansas City.
Now, he got around $1,600 that time and came back to the same store to rob it again, but didn't get anything that time. He kept robbing around that area. He robbed a couple more grocery stores, and then a Taco Bell. After
Taco Bell.
Yeah. After that, after Taco Bell, he broke into the home of a man named Michael Kennedy, where he stole his ID. So then he made his way down to Sarasota, where he would use the name Michael Kennedy as an alias.
Down to Sarasota.
Yes. He would claim to whoever was listening that he was a Vietnam War veteran. He owned a trucking company in Kansas City and had just sold one of his songs for $10,000.
Woo!
Woo! About a week before the tragedies that would happen in Gainesville, he sat down with a tape recorder and recorded a message to his family and police telling them what he was about to do and apologizing in advance and telling his family how great they were. He told his dad, who he actually thought was dead by his own hand, what a great man he was.
Yeah, he looked up to him.
"Baby Dumpling, you a good man.
Even though he had a throwdown.
You tried. You tried. You raised me right, James. Baby Dumpling."
Yeah. What is in your head right now? Like the song.
Baby Billy.
Baby Billy?
Uncle Baby Billy. What's it called?
The
Don't
song?
go misbehaving.
I'm still on Man on the Run. Not a man on the run.
Well, the reason why I wanted to do this right after Eileen Wardos is because it all happened around the same time. And he was a drifter too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there'll be some other things that tie in to the same thing. But on the tape recorder, he recorded all the songs that he had written, all of them. Then he pawned.
Was one of them called Dumpling?
No.
Oh shit! I would have named one of them. Here's your baby dumpling. We're gonna fire this one off from you.
He then pawns his guitar and purchases a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
So this is the end of his music career right now. He's done.
Not really.
Oh.
So he left
There's more.
Sarasota. And headed on up to Gainesville.
Dumpling's going to be a #1 hit. I guarantee it.
And that's where we'll stop for today.
Oh, you're right there. I'm sorry.
And even though this has been a horrible ride thus far, it gets so
I've been
worse.
plugging in like right in the middle of all her shit today. And you've been doing good. Like, that's awesome story. Horrific story. This half.
Awesomely horrific.
Awesomely horrific.
Yes.
That's the first half.
That's the first half. Next week we'll
That was
back up in Gainesville.
that one really should have been like a 4-shotter for me. That's tough. Oh, Rambo.
Fucking Rambo.
Oh, Rambo.
Rambo, Danny Rowland.
Rambo, Danny Rowland. Now he's in Gainesville. So we're going to do that shit next
We'll
time.
pick back up in Gainesville.
Wow.
And remember, it's at the start of the school year. But I'll mention that again. That's where I'm going to start it off. Right when he gets to Gainesville.
Right. Wow. Goodness. I want to talk about music.
Yes, what band are you plugging today?
I have been planning this for a while.
Oh my God, let me get my Instagram pulled up so I can follow
You're
this
good.
person.
You're good, Lindsay. You're good. You can follow them if you want to, but you probably already
I always
are.
follow them. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Reckless Giants.
Yay!
Yes, yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
so excited.
Well, I've been reaching out.
I was just talking to you about that last night.
Yeah.
I was pissed. I was like, why haven't you plugged
But I was already
Bingo
ahead of
Boys?
you. I've been reaching out to bands
You know
all
what?
over,
I
though.
should have already gotten the clue because you looked at me like,
Oh, yeah, you know my looks.
Yes.
You know how I look. But I've been reaching out all over the globe, honestly. I love music. I want to hear it all. I want to hear it all. So I can always fall back on my boys, Jeremy and the guys down there. And
so fun.
Yeah, I even work with Jeremy. He works at a place that I buy parts from. So it's really cool. It's really cool. And I think he moved to Gainesville now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's doing parts, I think, in Gainesville or Ocala. I don't remember which one. So it might be relevant.
And that's
He
our
might be
friend
working in
Ollie's
Gainesville.
favorite local band too.
Yeah, it's a really cool punk rock group. So Reckless Giants, they're badass, and I want to share them. And he gave me one of the new songs that we can play.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So if you're in the Gainesville, North Florida area, check them out. They're going to be playing Swamp Fest 17, February 22nd. So
Okay.
they'll be on that bill.
Are we going to go?
I don't know. It's February the 22nd. I don't know. What are we doing? I don't know. 22nd of February.
We'll already be over there. We might as well. But we got to record.
We might record there.
Okay.
We can do it.
Part 2 in Gainesville.
Wouldn't that be cool? In Gainesville, Swamp Fest. Yeah. That's going to be cool.
Maybe we can think that out.
Yeah. We should check it out, honestly. So they're going to be playing there. And I want to share one of their songs with the crew, the everybody. So check this band out, Reckless Giants. This song's called I'm So Punk. So here we go. I mean, so fucking badass.
I'm excited. singing.
You was
having a
getting with
great
it.
Time. Yes.
You was doing it.
I
That's
was
fucking
jamming.
awesome.
Great job, Reckless Giants.
Phenomenal. Gainesville band.
Yes.
Yeah. Gainesville punk. Love it. Doesn't it sound almost like Tampa punk too? And it's 100% Gainesville punk for sure. Phenomenal job.
Very
Killing
good
it.
job. And they put on a great show.
They put on,
We've
you know
seen them
what?
A few times. I
Punk
love their
and metal.
Are they still doing the flamingos? Because I like the flamingo.
I didn't see it on the music video. I think that was at High Dive. They did the video there, but which is no longer.
I know.
But anyhow, check out Reckless Giants.
Please do.
Metal and punk goes together. When we play in Lake City,
And he's very
get my band
active
going.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or Jeremy is with the band. And on TikTok.
Yeah.
I follow them.
They're always
both.
doing.
Yeah.
They're getting the recognition, but they deserve more. You know. Yeah. And whenever I put on a show, I love
these boys up.
I love putting on punk and metal shows.
Yes.
I love it, and I'm calling them, dude. The last time we played at Hangar, we did a punk and metal night, and it went over real good.
Because we love
dude.
both.
It was
We
packed.
love it all.
Remember
It
how
was.
packed it was?
We were shocked. I did more sales because I'm the band mom. I'm the merch
450
girl.
we sold that night. Yeah,
And I'm the merch girl, and we did some sales that night. We did some
for a
good
local
sales.
band. That's phenomenal. If you're selling
Yeah, because
$450,
it's a
night.
hobby for most of us.
Yeah,
But I say like I'm a part of the band for most of our players.
it's
but,
us. You're that much of a part of it whenever it comes to you rocking the merch table.
I know,
bro.
but I contribute nothing to the band other than showing up, looking cute, and selling
You
merch.
are. You are always on fire, I'm telling you.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah, check them out, though. Reckless Giants. They're on everything.
Yes,
Check them out.
let me put on my fishnets and Vans for Reckless Giants next weekend. Let's work it
There
out.
we go. Yeah. Feb 22nd. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do lunch with the parents.
Swamp.
We were already going to
Fest.
go to Gainesville and take a picture of the mural for our listeners.
Oh, yeah. So we'll be down there anyhow.
Let's work it out. Let's
Can
see
we
what we
bring
can do.
Cy? I don't know. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
We'll check it out.
Message Jeremy and see if it's in all ages because Silas loves him some shows.
Yeah. Be
And
cool.
he hadn't been to one in a while either.
Yeah, and we'll let them know that they're on the pod now. So
We will be tagging you guys on Friday.
yeah. Right before the show. Cool. My cools suck. My cools aren't cool.
You got to do it. It's,
I can't.
just forget the L. Just
It sucks.
drop the L.
Well, I can't.
I know.
I got some. I don't know.
Cool.
Always have the L because I'm a loser, baby.
So why don't you kill me?
We'll see you guys next Friday.
Bye.